Welcome back. Now, data collection for the living conditions, or LCS Survey for 2014-2015, conducted by Statistics South Africa, started this Monday, and it's going to be running until the 30th of October next year. Now, this survey is in line with the recommendations of the National Development Plan in the quest to reduce inequality. Data collectors will visit residential areas throughout the country to collect data from household members through a questionnaire. The data will then be used to monitor and profile the poverty levels here in South Africa. Well, from StatsSA, we're joined in studio by the Deputy Director General for Population and Social Statistics, Kefiloe Masiteng. Good to have you, Kefiloe. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting us.
All right, so it started on Monday and it's actually running for an entire year. How does it work? Just to educate people, if in fact you are approached to take part in the survey.
Since the 15th of September, we have had what we call the publicity officers that have been going to the 30,000 households that have been selected for this sample or for this survey, where they have been building the rapport with the households, indicating to them that we will be having the enumerators or the field workers coming from this month, which is October now, to come and teach them how to fill in the diary that they will keep for 2 weeks in the households, jotting in what has been bought in the house, so that you don't burden them with trying to remember every time what has been bought, so that we are able to capture the levels of expenditure in the households. They are also going to allow them to understand what is expected of them when the field workers are going to weigh them. We're going to weigh people and measure their waists, their height, in the issues that would allow us to measure what is called anthropometrics, where we would understand as to whether people are getting bigger, obese, or whether people are getting thinner, whether children are growing at the same height that is expected for their age. So those are some of the things that we would be expecting. So for 12 months, we would be knocking on the 32,000 households that have been selected for the survey. And then we will do data processing from December, but we will finish, and hopefully we will be able to release the results a year after the 30th of October 2015.
So these 32,000 households, they've already been identified, and the residents have already agreed to it as well?
Yes, by now the 32,000 households that have been selected know that I am part of the survey for the next 12 months. It's expected of me to be answering the questions, and then the enumerators will also make appointments for when they will come and do the measurements, for when they will come and do the jotting down of the diaries, and also assisting in making sure that the diaries are filled in correctly.
And this is on a pure volunteer basis?
It's definitely on a pure voluntary basis, and hence we try and come and say we would come and appeal to the nation and the members of the public to ensure that they provide this information mainly on a purely voluntary basis, for us to be able to continue to measure the levels of poverty in the country.
Give us an idea of who's been chosen. Obviously, it's nationwide, so you've got a wide range of South Africans. Who have you selected?
It's not the who, it's the how many. So out of the 15 million households that we know in the country, we have the frame that comes from the census that will tell us this is the profile of the households. Now, because we want to run a sample, we will look at the households in Gauteng, which would be more, and households in KwaZulu-Natal. So the sample is based on the size of the population across the provinces. That would mean you will have the higher number of households chosen in Gauteng and the least number of households chosen in Northern Cape because of the size of the population. But what you would find is that then on the basis of that, we would choose everybody. It would be to say, of the 15 million households, we need about 500 in Gauteng. So it will be a random sample of 500 households out of the 12 million people that live in Gauteng. We have about 462 that would be chosen in KwaZulu-Natal, and about 102 that would be chosen in Northern Cape, based on the size of the population and the size of the households.
Okay. In a nutshell, what's the purpose of the survey? What are you trying to achieve?
The purpose of the survey is to make sure that at the end of the day, in 2016, we would be able to say to the country there are so many people that are living within or below the levels of poverty that we have determined, or the poverty line. We will say this is the profile of poverty in the country, meaning this is the number of people who are poor, and this is the number of people who are not poor. We will also be able to give the information about the very anthropometrics which are related to the health status of the population. But ultimately, we also have the information that will be able to allow us to rebase the CPI basket and provide information for the national accounts, housing and services part of the economy.
Yeah. So these the outcomes of the survey expected to be released next year.
We will release hopefully about within 12 months after the 30th of October 2015, when all questionnaires will have come back.
All right, so this will only come out in about 2016.
Yes.
Yeah. So in terms of the general population of South Africa, do you need any help from them? Do you need their involvement at all? Because, I remember during the census, obviously, all South Africans needed to assist you, needed to help, to be welcoming. But what I'm gathering from this is that the individuals have already been chosen, so there's not much else for us to do. Or is there? Am I wrong? Perhaps things will change.
I guess it's just for us to be able to know that the survey is there, try to partake, try to make sure that when you are chosen, you are able to understand why it is done and make sure that you are able to provide the information that would assist us. But also, I guess, as more of us know about it and talk about it, it will create more understanding and better respondents and better, I think, levels of confidence on people on StatsSA to provide information about it.
Of course, just creating awareness. Has it been done before?
It started in 2000 as IES, and then in 2005 we conducted what we called IES, the second IES, and then in 2008 and 9 we conducted what was called the first living conditions survey, where we expanded the IES, which was mainly income and expenditure, to some elements of service delivery and living conditions. So this is the second LCS, but the range is between what we call the IES, which is mainly money, and then LCS, that is also about money, but including issues about your living conditions.
Yeah.
So it has been there since 2000 as a measure of poverty.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck going forward with this. Kefiloe Masiteng is Population and Social Statistics from StatsSA. It's a data collection for the living conditions, or LCS Survey, that has begun. It's going to be running for an entire year up until October the 30th. 32,000 households have been chosen to participate in this survey. And if you're one of them, good luck with it. And if you are still to be chosen, then please do assist Stats South Africa in order to make these figures available. And, we can find out things there going forward. So that's the end of that interview. We're going to take a break here on Morning Live. When you return,